This is during Virtue's past lives. This is Melanie France's past lives. I'm going to do a little bit of dipping in both and see what I'm finding out. Okay, a lot of woo coming through on that. Hang on. Okay, I'm getting a lot of woo coming through. It's as if the things you learned in Atlantis, the things you would have learned in that timeline, align with you in a priestess kind of way. This does feel very, very Celtic, Anglo, Britain, Wales, that kind of thing. Healer card. Now, because you did know how to heal, because you would have been a woman like the wise woman, the witches, all of that, that is the things we see, things that are known. It's very, very known. Because you knew these gifts, you had these gifts, and you used them, it would have marked you. It says, empowers others, interested in ways of nature and natural living, very connected to nature. Challenges, hypersensitive. It's a gift and a curse, right? Defensive, impatient. Says you suffered from a variety of health conditions and you learned how to research cues. This one doesn't just tell me about you, it tells me about your mother. You didn't just pick this shit up and decide, oh, one day, yeah, this is great, this is not. I think your mother was more subtle than you in what you do in the healing arts. I think you learned from her wisdom, you took note, you paid attention, that kind of thing. But if you got too big for your britches, according to other people, you would set yourself up as a target. There was persecution and inquisition that came over and over. Ooh. Okay, hang on. This isn't just by Mel that they're threatened. I think that you pissed some woman off big time. Yeah, there was battles. There was two competitors. You were as good of a choice as the other one. The other woman would be more like you or the other woman, not because that you were in bed with this person's husband, but you were definitely a threat to her, and who she wanted, who she aspired to have noticed you more than they noticed her. You didn't give a fig about this other person. If somebody constantly idolizes you instead of idolizing the woman that's admiring this man person, it's going to make her bend. And she was. Yeah, there was conflict on this. She wanted you cut out of the community. She wanted you gone, done, over and out, done. So she'd blame, make mischief, snipe and gripe, create mean girl gossip shit. She was definitely the mean girl that had minions. You were different enough that she got away with that for a little while. Didn't serve forever, but she got away with it for a while. The person that she wanted was smarter than she anticipated. It's like she tried to work her femininely, this sounds so nuts, her feminine wiles, they say that. She tried to seduce, capture, take this person, have this person as hers, and he wasn't having it. He was looking for something. You emulated a lot of the qualities that he liked, and she was bent about it. Yeah, something had to end. We'll have to explore this more. It's more than death of an ego. It's more than just an end. I think it's about her demise. Okay, So overloaded with children and tired and weary and really, really worn is this person, is this, there's still this male figure. It's this person that's overloaded with children, responsibilities, worries, and concerns. Definitely has enough belt wealth-wise, but has a lot of responsibilities. Interesting. I think you were friends with this person. I don't think that you ever had a relationship that was of a sexual nature with this person. He had a lot of kids by a certain woman. He had developed a lot in his life with a certain woman. This other woman that wants you screwed over and over would try and set you up. I think she wanted to come in as stepmom to capture this guy. These aren't her kids. I think she would be the one that would totally fit the stereotype of wicked stepmom. Although nobody played games. She kept trying and kept trying. He was just overwhelmed and overloaded. She saw him as like money, money, money. She saw you as obstacle, obstacle. You were friends with this person. She set you up. She set you up time and time and time and time again. This Ten of Swords is like multiple times of wound, of betrayal, of injury, of her trying to meddle and create trouble. She really didn't like you. You had the higher ground, you stood your ground, you held your own, you were just fine. But constantly there was something coming after you. You learned to be a little bit more cautious. Your mother was more cautious in how she used her wisdom. You became a little bit more cautious and a little less ready to help. You were still willing to help, but a little less ready. You would take time and remove yourself from certain peoples and circumstances. This doesn't come in as a pair. This comes in as here, this comes in as here, but it doesn't come in as a pair. People are attracted to the knowledge you have, the fire that you are, the truth of who you are in this life. This one person sees it as the biggest threat in the world. I think she thinks you had aspirations for this person, which would have never been. Never have been. So she acted in such a way, coming from an insecure, bullying energy. There was lots of happiness, always, always for you. And particularly these kids, like this man and these kids genuinely liked you. And it wasn't that you ever decided to hook up with him or be his wife or his counterpart or anything. There was just a big respect, a big mutual respect. This guy, his wife would have died early on. You would have known how to fix if so-and-so scrapes their knee or has a hurt or a wound. You would have said, yeah, send this over, you put it on your kids, you're fine. That kind of thing. The desire for the knowledge and the stuff that she wants, that you have, that she doesn't, is there. But her desire to do the work to get it, no. She just wanted it handed to her. It wasn't coming that way. It never would have come that way. The exchange for goods and services. You always had the generous heart, the generous spirit. You would always do this. You would give, 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 give. And what you gave, the healing effects and the like formulas, potions, the salves that you would give. It's not like you did it to get rich, but really, you had a very, very good heart, and she had a very, very black heart. And that's what this life was about. She did not like you. There was smoke and mirrors all around. There was a constant wishing for pie in the sky things for her, and you had just like crossed through. You're just flat out on a different field. It's not like even that you would play a game and beat her. You're not in the same league or even in necessarily the same game, but she always perceived you as a threat. Because you were always queen, she was always page. There was always that difference there. The guy who mourned kept mourning whoever his love was. He didn't remarry at all. She wanted to trap. She wanted to spin a web. She wanted to do all the malicious bullshit nonsense that is not good. She would want to try and do. If you weren't looking so good, then she wouldn't look so bad. So damn you for being good. Damn you for having a good heart. Damn you for having knowledge. Damn you for knowing the answer all the time. Why do you have to know all the answer? There's just a real venom coming from her towards you for just your existence. You made the willing sacrifice. You knew you would be targeted. You knew that some people would come against you, and they did. When did that happen? Hang on. We're going into the second deck here. I'm going to clear this away so I have room. Man, it's beyond rivalry with this one. This one's like a little bit on the bat shit, this chick. Really, really malicious. Like you held your own, but she just kept on coming. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we see you again. Here we see plotting and planning, somebody trying to take from you. She would try and throw you screwball stuff. She didn't know enough to create healing, but she did know enough to try and fuck you over. So she would be somebody that might try and poison you. That kind of shit, that kind of malevolence. You were the block to her lover. According to her, she thought that you blocked her from this person, from her future, from her happiness, from everything. You went around offering what you could to help and heal, and she viewed that as a block, and she was angry. She was batshit is what she was. You have the sun and the moon in conflict here. Here's you. Here's where she's feeling. She's seeing things as distorted. She's not seeing clearly. She would forever wage war. You would forever wage peace. That's just how it was. That's just how it was. And she kept this battle, this ongoing battle. And the biggest thing is, she would try and get others incorporated in this battle against you, but you weren't in a fight with her. You could have cared less. You could have cared less about the dude other than, yeah, he was a friend, but not a lover. You could have cared less about, you know, this malicious intent. You would follow your intuition, your instinct well enough that even if she put a cup of rat poison in front of you, you could have drank it and been bulletproof, and she would just be even further vexed. Justice and karma were on your side big time in this. Now let's see what was going on. A little bit more. Wild. It's like your whole reason for being there had nothing to do with her, and her ego just couldn't fucking handle it. Jesus. What's up with this? Envious gluttony. This is just envious and gluttony for a coinage, not for food, but envious gluttony is totally what it was about. Anything else? Naked before the stars. She would never be that. You would be that. You would just be exactly who you are. She would not. Queen of my world. Wow. Okay. This queen of my world, the naked before the stars, and this coming through. It's like the envy was so strong. Queen of her world. You, what the hell were you doing owning everything that she wanted? Like, really? She thought she was, like, Karen just doesn't cover it. The entitlement, the thought of what she deserved, what she was supposed to have. I don't think you came from a wealthy family. The man of wealth, the man with the kids, he understood that. He also understood your knowledge and skills of what you had in healing. She came from a little bit more wealth. She figured she would be like Flynn once this guy's wife was dead. Queen of my world. She wanted it. She wanted to own it all. For 9 years this carries on. 9 fucking years. Good grief. Just sheer meanness. Triumph of lies is coming through. calling the storm. She thinks she's got you. She's done so much malicious damage and lying and talking smack, talking lies, that there is an inquisition, that you are called up before people. And your friend, the father of these kids, he isn't enough to stand on your behalf. And she's been so venomous, so vipery, like snake. She's got you. You are called in before people. You are called in the inquisition. And then the calling the storm. She doesn't know what she did. Like, she has no idea what she's done. As soon as she does this, she becomes exposed. Because as she says, well, she did this, she did this, she did this, all the minions that she would have set up against, they're going to be able to reveal the truth of her and the truth of you as easily as anything else. It didn't play out. It's like she would have wanted you, like, in the tower or beheaded or poisoned or dead or whatever. It didn't play out at all. This went on for 9 years. Shit. Okay, 1 second. That's too current. All right. This is the Dream Keeper's tarot. It's like she calls you before judge and jury. Again, she wants to cut things to ribbons. She wants to wreck things because she wants the power that you have. She takes it on one time too many. This would be you, as clueless as could be, walking around, doing whatever it is you're doing, tra-la-la-la in the forest. She calls this down one time too many. And she calls it before a judge. She actually calls her own ending. The judge is there, Lady Justice is there. The judge is related to somebody that has a good sense of truth and knows what's what. This isn't related to you, but these two, as this couple, this judge has the power. This one knows what's gone on, whispers in this one's ear. You're just doing your own thing, doing you. But she's been so ornery. Word of her and her meanness has spread equally strong. She ends up calling down her own sentencing, calling on her own death. Sees right through it. This is definitely by the works were you judged, by the person in power, the institutions in power, by your works were you judged. There had been enough healing going on, although this could have been the sad, sad case where the witches burned, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't the case for you. It wasn't the case. Try as she might. There was a goodness to your heart, a goodness to your spirit and your soul, and what you did and how you worked to help others, to heal others, to create an element of peace that she was so disruptive of. It was almost like a complete opposite. Like, from her perspective, you would be the baddie, but you weren't the baddie for the rest of the people. You guys did each other's shadow work in this lifetime. Wow. I don't know if karmically you had switched roles in a time before, but you guys, you weren't done here. Wow, you weren't done here. There's loss, there's mourning, there's power, there's passion, all of that going forward. You missed her. This person, I think in a previous life, was really, really close to you like a sister. There was a rivalry that was ginormous. And in this particular life that we've looked at, the rivalry was you were the goody good and she was the baddie bad. And it was that simple. But you missed her. You understood her better than she would have thought. You're the elder of the two. I think you're about 6 years older than this person is. Anything else in here for it? No? We're going to try and do a slide into a different time. I don't know if we'll go before or behind. To a slide. The two of you.
But, oh my God, Angie, I was just thinking in another life they would be sisters.
Yeah, they are. They are. Now we're doing a slide, so I don't know how to describe this. I don't know. I only know to call it a slide. We're sliding into a different space and time. The two of you. What do we got here? Check this out. There's the mother, there's the two girls, one of them learning the balance, trying to figure out the balance and the reward, having the need to have that balance over and over in the reward. You have the son here, and then the really, really looking for money but not sure what to do, not able to see the reward. It's just disgruntledness here. There's a labyrinth she should have walked. There's knowledge she should have gotten. She could have gotten. This is pre this life. It's showing up as, even in the one before, it was a more mild case of it, but it was still there. She felt like she should have gotten more. She felt like she was doing what she needed to do to get more, and she didn't get what she wanted. She didn't get enough. I don't think it's that it will never be enough for her, but it's an understanding of what it is that she's hungry for doesn't seem to be what she can grasp. She's hungry for something to satisfy that won't satisfy, and so she goes around feeling forever hungry. Like when you really need Thanksgiving to be Thanksgiving, and you really need turkey or meat or something solid, and you end up eating potato chips all day, and you're like, yeah, fuck it, I don't want the turkey. It's kind of like that. The abundance you understood, you could navigate a blind field on fire just fine, and be fine every time. She'll get it. Eventually she'll get it. I don't know if she's here in your life now, but in this life prior to, we slid back, not forward. There's a sense of an approval that you got from the parental, the parental unit before here. The measuring up and the competition was still there back then. Can we slide forward? Yeah. Okay. Sliding forward. This is the one I wanted to get into before, and it felt too modern. We're sliding forward, the two of you. Closer to our time. You're the showy, sparkle one. You're the one that people see. You're the one that has the gift that everybody sees, and she's still got envy going on. She's still got the exact same thing that she had here going on. She's a little bit clouded in her thinking, but a little bit better. This is her own lesson. It's going to take some work. Is she able to resolve it? This is closer to now. She won't resolve it until she learns that she's setting up her own sabotage. She's constantly taking from others. She's Sneaky Pete the thief. She's still doing this. She's doing it less so than she did before. She's figuring it out. There's lots of love extended and offered to her. This is like soul contract work that goes through lifetime. As you get closer, as you do more, she learns it. She figures it out, but it still isn't mastered here. This feels like 250 years ago. Where, when, I don't know. 250 years ago, yes, the wisdom's there. Yes, you decide you're going to shift it. It's like the wiser part of you guys, the mother energy that was conveyed through here, is through here you retreat. So you settle it down. Her transformation is absolutely necessary, and it's one that does not come easy. You can have wisdom, but you step back. You choose to step back. Finally. She fucking finally gets a clue, a little bit more of a clue. Justice is playing into this. You stepping back. It's not that you had to step back for her to shine, but by your stepping back, by your choosing stepping back, she was able to see more clearly. And this doesn't feel like 250 years old. This is beyond that inlet. We're still not current yet. Okay. So finally, you've got the Initiate of Pentacles. She's finally getting it. She's finally getting it. Okay. In this one, this sister, it's closer to our time. It took 2 full cycles beyond the 250 years. So she's been here twice since then, getting it, getting it, getting it. Slowly it's unfolding. In this one, you weren't even in that life with her. You were more like spirit guide on that life. This one, she's finally getting it. She doesn't feel the need to compete so much. The ego is finally conquered, but she's had to stand strong for a long, long time to do that. She might have shades of this pop up if she's in your world now, but I'm not sure if she is. This is where it's completing. Knowing your truth, knowing your wisdom is enough. If you have this malicious energy around you from other people, that's like the mean girl energy, don't think that you can't navigate it, and it's not necessarily your fault that you would be radiant or you would be seen and they wouldn't. It might be others will still view you as a rival because of just who you are, but this particular sister, she's gotten kind of over the hump. Not mastery of it, but over the hump. She might still struggle with jealousy and that kind of thing, but not want to kill you. Wow. Yeah, this is still a path that's going to be, these threads are still going to be woven through going forward at intermittent times. Yeah, no more slides. It's complete here. This is where I stopped. This is where I'm being told that's what she needs to know. That's where I need to stop. That's what was going on. That is a trip. This is a big trip. Wow. Yeah. Who knew? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, just stand in your own truth as much as you can, because that will serve you best. If you stand in your own truth, people around you, mean girls, her, anybody else, they'll learn how to do the same. That's what I got. Wow. That was kind of harsh.